Hello, good evening, and good night. I'm telling you, welcome to our 79th podcast, ladies.
Woo, woo.
How are you feeling? I know, right? I know y'all missed us. We had a little hiatus. Some of us were still drunk. We couldn't believe it. Roger Federer won the Australian Open. His 18th major. I know there are haters out there. You know what?
Yeah, just in case you forgot, it's 18.
It's 18, okay? 4 more than Pete Sampras and Divadal, and of course 7 more than Novak. He has is it 7 or 6? I don't know. 11, 12?
We don't keep count of Novak.
But yes. Woefully behind Serena.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least you forget that, of course. And Serena looks, she's collecting. She's making a charm bracelet by now, like for Venus. People like, Venus, you can play with these today. I know she still got a whole handful, but welcome back. We are happy to be back. I know you missed us, and we are here to. The name of our 79 podcast is Tennis. Can't we behave like normal pro sport? Let's be 100. You cannot leave tennis alone. Tennis cannot be left on its own devices because it just runs the fucking mess. But before I go, I don't even know what they're trying to do. They're trying to top each other, but you know what? Hey, we live in a new world, new reality. New things, new red administration. So hey, if I go any further, what cannot go without being mentioned is my 2 lovely co-hostesses with the mostesses. I'm nothing without these ladies. First, we have Andrine from Solely Tennis Travel.
Howdy. We decided not to leave you like the Trumpers left the First Lady of Japan. We're back.
Boom.
Oh my God, I gotta, let me just put my edges back in. All right. And I have to give a special shout out to the Quito of podcast. She is 30 fabulous this week. And something I didn't even realize is that my lovely co-host, the Quito of podcast, Janina from Farron, Ohio, shares the same birthday with the fabulous Leontyne Price. I bet you didn't know, Janina. But you didn't know.
I did not know.
Leontyne Price went to college in Ohio as well. So
wow,
special connection. And you blessed the world with your gorgeous, amazing voice. And so did Leontyne in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and 2000. Oh, I'm telling you. See, I knew there was a reason I loved you. Besides the fact that you burgled my podcast and just showed up and be like, I'm taking over people. Never left. But how would you spend your birthday? And please don't tell us it was dull and boring.
You know what? Yeah, I was home.
You know what? But hey, you have us today. And like the good Judy's, Andrine and I are, we are going to hook you up and fix you a wonderful birthday today while you spend it, post-birthday celebration. Because, when you're 30, what did Serena say? 30 fabulous? She said something 30 awesome, 30 fabulousness, something along those lines. Oh, Serena stands, don't come for me, okay? Don't. Save the fire for the real enemies, okay? All right. And we are here with you as we are 30 fabulous as well. So
no, we're twice our age. Poor thing.
Oh man.
Well, I was trying to be nice to you, Audrey, but I hate you. I'll let you have that because you ladies are not afraid to fight Real's head off. So, and of course, there is that was a guy on the podcast, that Rafa hater, that Divadal hater, that Nole hater.
Wait, you have a tagline now. Did you forget it?
What?
Oh,
Bonafide hater?
No, you're the homosexual of the podcast.
Oh, of course. How did I forget that?
Oh my God! Somebody referred to you as that.
To myself, laughing. I forget that. I am a homosexual of the podcast. Like I said, behind every fabulous woman, there is a homosexual, and you ladies stand ahead of me. So let's get through the boring dull affair of results. So for me, ladies, let me just put it out there. Tennis stopped at the Australian Open on Friday. Well, Friday, I missed Saturday, then Sunday happened, just to let you know. So the men's semifinal happened Thursday, Friday in Australia. Women's semifinals, Venus dismantling Coco and Coconut. And then Saturday happened. Something happened, I guess. Serena won 23. Hey, girl, good for you. And then Sunday happened. And then, you know what? And it stopped. Time stopped.
Yeah.
Like, I had no interest, and let's just say I had to make up all the work that I wasn't really doing while 2 weeks of Melbourne was happening. So I had to be working.
So seriously, how much live television have you caught? Live tennis have you caught?
Today?
Today.
Well, Janina reminded me that I had to watch tennis, that we have a podcast coming out, that we had to plan to have a podcast. So it's like, oh yeah. So I stopped and I started to watch tennis. Because usually I am always watching tennis religiously. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like having a job. See, I'm telling you, I don't like this job. I can't watch tennis on the fly at all. But and plus, they're not at the time or whatever. But I did watch some matches. I watched a little snippet of thing. But you know what? I mostly caught all the news. And I did see Gasquet and Sasha play this morning. Mm-hmm. I saw Sasha and Tsonga played yesterday because Janina and I had a little bet going on. I said Tsonga looked like he was ready to take it because Sasha looked like a hot mess. But then Sasha proved me wrong. Good for you, boo-boo. Good for you. That's what we need. We need these young guns to stop shooting blanks. I'm telling you. So, oh, did I think?
Huh? Yeah, that is about the extent of my tennis adventures of the week. I watched Zverev and Tsonga, and I watched Zverev and Gasquet. I did watch some of Grigor and Goffin today. I did not watch any Fed Cup, like none.
I know.
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. I watched some of Petco and Risk. And I thought, holy shit, Petkovic just really doesn't know how to play tennis anymore at all. At all.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't want to be at work and you're trying to fake the fun.
Yeah, but that's it. Adrienne, did you see any?
You know what? Honest to God, no. You know what the thing is? If I can't turn on my TV and watch tennis, it's not going to happen. And I absolutely forgot that I paid extra for being sports.
So, you don't have Tennis Channel anymore?
No, I've gotten rid of Tennis Channel. Okay. So because what I decided to do is because Tennis Channel was so iffy about like women's tennis, I was like, let me just pay for beIN Sports and then let me get tennis TV. But when I come home from work, the last thing I want to do is open up my laptop. So I often forget, So I was like, oh wait, I forgot I have beIN Sports. I could have been watching some tennis all along.
I don't know though if anything was on beIN Sports.
Maybe not. That's
everything I watched was on Tennis Channel.
Was on Tennis Channel? Okay, well that's good. So then
Tennis Channel definitely had Fed Cup. So
okay.
Maybe you didn't watch last week was St. Petersburg and also Taipei. That was on beIN Sports.
That was beIN Sports. Well, yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, this is why we need Tony, who keeps track of where the tennis is, because the world is so confusing for us all.
Tenniswatchers.com.
Oh my God! Here's your commercial. Go for it.
Yes. Tony, you owe money.
Yeah.
When you get that first calendar sale.
Actually, no. Tony, this is free plug because your calendar does come in handy. It's right in front of me, and I can get to see what's happening in the world. So,
I will tell you,
I
love it. Don't always appreciate all the pictures though, because Marie in February.
Oh my God! Can I tell you what I did to Marie in February? So I took my calendar and put it up on my wall at work, and I just happened to staple Venus up because she was the cover.
She's Venus.
I feel like I know where this is going.
So I lifted up. I lifted up February, and I was like, Marie. So I just ripped it off. So Venus is January and February, and if I don't like March, If I don't like March, that's what's gonna happen again. I was like, oh my God, this is so convenient. Because I was thinking to myself, oh no, I'm gonna have to rip this down. Staples. Oh no, I don't want to rip Venus's picture. But then I flipped it up and I was like, I don't need to look at Murray for a whole month.
Oh,
just keep looking at me.
And you know what? It's
so
Black
great.
History Month. And why not
Exactly. I know, Tony. Don't forget that. Don't ever put a non-white you need to put a black person on in February. Remember. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so it's like a perfect. I was like,
well, you know what's odd? What's odd, right? Usually, Murray shines in January, right? Because Murray usually gets to the Australian Open finals in January, and do well at Doha or Dubai or wherever, So but this time around,
leave the man alone.
Venus did well in January. No, it's a fabulous calendar, Tony. And I really hope you can, get more money and develop it and turn it into that wonderful calendar that you envision it to be, which is gonna be Serena all month, every day.
Yes, but we know this, right?
Hey.
Well, before we hit the news, though, let me just because of the nature of how we watched live tennis or didn't watch live tennis,
right?
Tell me, what did you guys notice about the winners? Like, what did you notice about Grigor that made it possible for him to finally get to and win his home tournament?
Oh my God.
So I mean, that's kind of cool. And then Sasha, I guess, is finally living up to his potential.
Yeah. I mean, but it's the French national championships in Montpelier. So hey,
was it the national championship? I can't tell because
every time and when there's a French tournament, I call it French national because
they have so many.
Yeah, he just makes that shit up
every fucking where.
He just makes
let's be serious. When there wasn't a Frenchman, you were playing a Frenchman. I swear to God, like everybody, they were eliminating each other. They were everywhere.
All I saw was that Dustin Brown got himself to the quarters and then eliminated himself after one game.
Well, that's Dustin. That is the usual Dustin way.
Right?
But the ladies, on the women's side, Mladenovic, French girl, she won her first title over Puntenseva.
That was great.
And she was excited, and that was very, happy. I didn't realize she had never won a singles tournament before. This was the very first one. I guess I just assumed, winning doubles,
Yeah.
Hey, good for you.
Someplace else. Good for you. Congratulations, girl. See what happens when you mind your business on court? Things happen, right?
Apparently, that propelled her to run her mouth for the next double tournament. We're not there yet.
For you.
That's all right.
We'll get to Kiki. And also, your favorite girl, Gasolina Svitolina, won in St. Petersburg. Am I right? No, it won in Taipei.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the St. Petersburg.
Svitolina won in Taipei.
Yeah, the St. Petersburg.
She won in straight.
Yeah.
Yes. Kiki won. No, Kiki won.
It was St. Petersburg, right? That weird ceremony.
Yeah, Kiki won St. Petersburg, yes. And on the men's side, apparently there's a lot of men tournaments happening this week. Ooh.
Can we skip it?
All 250s. Well, no, I mean, you got Estrella winning again, 3-peat.
Right. Yes. Congratulations.
You got Grigor.
Definitely a boost for Latin American tennis.
So is Grigor the only one? Is Grigor leading the pack with most titles so far this year?
He has two. Is that leading the pack?
I mean, I think so, right? Because he's got Brisbane. Listen, we're not counting all the big ones. He's got two.
Look. We all know. Let's do 100 here. Look, hold up, ladies. We are shaderers. We are. But let's keep it 100. We know it's hard for Scrub to get some points.
It is.
Because the big boy shows up at 250s too. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But they all took a break. They all took a break this week. So
exactly.
was able to slip on in now.
150 points plus probably I don't know, 800 points from the semifinals in Melbourne. So he's probably leading the race right now, in fact.
No, I don't think it's 800. Melbourne, I think, is only 5. Oh, semis. Oh, yeah, you're right. Melbourne. Sorry. Ooh.
Yeah, he's semi. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing well. No, you know what? He's not. You know what? He's third. He is number 3 behind Rafa and Fed. Fed and Rafa are 1 and 2 in the race to London.
God. Wait. If I do my math correctly, you only get like 230 points for a semifinal in Melbourne?
No idea.
That ain't.
No, it's more than that.
No, it's way more than that. It's like in the 700.
You absolutely are not doing your math right.
Yeah, it's probably
no, because he got Brisbane is 500 points, right?
Yeah.
And this is Sofia is
250.
250, so that's 750. But according to my thing here, he has 970 points.
Well, that's maybe because his points won't come on until next week. He'll get more.
Yeah, and also you don't know what he was actually defending in Australia.
That's true.
It might have been
right.
quarters.
Everything's not always a game. We have to remember that.
Exactly, because look at this. Federer hasn't played all week, and he went right up to number 9.
Exactly, a year, not a week. He hasn't played all fucking forever. So yeah, well done, Grigor. You got two titles.
Oh yes. Whoop, whoop. Federer moved up, and Monfils moved down one spot. So hey,
there we go. And then the other winner of the week was Misha.
Misha,
your favorite.
No, not
sorry,
Misha.
Sasha, but yeah.
Sasha. Andre, don't do the white people thing and confuse white people.
Okay, but Misha won and Sasha won together in doubles, so he got a title too.
Yes.
So that's not entirely wrong.
Yes.
So why couldn't they do this at Davis Cup? What happened there?
They don't want to.
I mean, like, honestly, I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
You have
too,
a dream team. You have a dream team now. You've got like the next number one star, which everybody ATP is lathering up for and really wanting, and then you've got the person who took out the number one tennis player. How are you gonna falter? How are you gonna falter?
Davis Cup is an amazing weave for your career.
I know.
Davis Cup give you that boost beyond all measure. Look, y'all know it's true. Don't be trying to shade it. You know it's true. Okay, look. In recent times, look, the amount of time I've heard Andy Roddick Davis Cup winner.
So who's in the
semis for what?
Semis for the men. So we know the women are. It's going to be the Czech versus the U.S. in the U.S. for the Fed Cup ladies, and then
so bye-bye USA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! And then it's going to be the Swiss versus the Russians, no, the Belarusians.
The Swiss. Are we sure that's how it's going to be?
Yeah, no. Isn't it the Swiss? Know. I think it's Swiss versus Belarus, right? Because the Belarusians.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Swiss versus Belarus, and then America versus Czech.
Yeah.
Czech being the number one seed as always.
It's a good chance for the Swiss. Good chance for the Swiss.
Yes, and Martin was there.
Yep.
And
I guess it all depends on who comes up to play, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is like, which USA will we be fielding? Will we be fielding a team of racists, or will we be fielding a team of black people? Well,
oh shit!
Sorry.
Oh, edges. Calm down.
Snatched.
Calm down. Look, good thing I'm all natural.
Good thing I'm all natural. Holding back.
Listen, you know what?
Because girl, you would expose me for ball.
But come on now, guys. Our sports was supposed to be our escape. Why are we
right?
Why are we having Nazi songs being sung?
Okay, let's talk about this.
Wait. Because before we get into that, let me just put out on the men's side in Davis Cup, it would be Spain versus Serbia, Great Britain versus France, USA versus Australia, and Italy versus Belgium in the quarterfinals.
All right, that's fun.
Unfortunately, Argentina wasn't able to move forward, being the defending champion, and they were the number one seed.
Because every now and then Fabio decides that there's one match he's going to care about. And
exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That was the match.
And Italy, you're so lucky that he cared that time around.
Exactly.
Wait, is Pineda's having the baby now?
No, it's too early.
I don't know.
Okay.
Where did that even come
let's
from?
get into this.
I know.
So
let's.
Isn't she pregnant? She's pregnant, right?
Wait, that was all news. That was all of the tennis results we possibly could pull up.
Yeah.
I don't think any match stood off in anyone's mind. That was as exciting and as thrilling.
We're missing shit, too bad.
Tell us. But now on to the news. Tell me.
So,
I mean,
let's.
There was just so much.
Go with it, Janina. Tell me.
So much. Let's start with the Fed Cup bullshitity.
Oh shit.
Okay.
No, correction. That's fuckery. That is just up and down,
You're
left,
right,
and center.
Fuckery. Because this is how I experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a message. I got several messages that the USA played the Nazi Germany anthem. Okay. And I'm like, man, that's really fucked up. And then rightfully so, Andrea Petkovic commented, I don't have any problem with what she said, saying she has been on tour for 13 years. This has never happened. This is the most disrespectful thing that has ever happened. And I'm reading about this and I'm experiencing it, in this way. And then today, I see that someone was actually on court singing.
Yeah, I thought they were playing the song.
Thought it was recording.
Hold on.
No, wait. Hold on. I really thought it was a recording. And because I thought it was a recording, I could almost understand how this might happen. Exactly. But to have a person on court singing it, I mean, how? And then poor fans trying to overpower the guy with the mic to sing the correct lyrics.
Who does sound like a Helgen tenor, which is like a big, massive voice, right?
Man.
His voice without the microphone sounds like a big
that
voice.
just changed the dynamic of everything. Everything. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They had a live human being out there singing the wrong national anthem? Are you kidding me? How does that happen? How does that happen? Why did the person singing it not know that it was inaccurate?
Well, and let's ask ourselves a couple questions when you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about that when you're doing a performance. So unless this guy has this song memorized, he went, researched it, found it, promptly memorized it, and had to have rehearsed it. So
and
there's
if you Google
all these like stages for you to recognize that this was wrong, right? You've got that the initial find. Okay, hey, I found the song. This is what I'm gonna sing. He had to tell somebody.
Stop. First and foremost, okay? National anthems all over the world are notoriously difficult.
Sure.
Secondly, he either has to be one of two things, right? A German national, so he knows better, because he's singing in German. It wasn't like he was singing English translation, of the national anthem. Two, he's not a national German singer. He wasn't a national. He's learning like an opera singer, trained singer, whatever the case may be. He has to do research. He would have known, because that sheet music, isn't available
everywhere.
No, it isn't available at the end, because the last time this was played, like since 1945. This is not official.
However,
this is not an official document somewhere.
However, sadly, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Apparently not.
But in defense of that, not that there's any good defense ever, it was a recording. In other places, it seems like, from what I was able to learn, it was the wrong recording was playing. It wasn't a person.
Which makes sense.
I mean, that's
like a bad Google search and a bad download. You know what I mean?
But you cannot have a person doing a live performance singing something from Nazi Germany that is banned.
Who gets
in a place like Hawaii?
Oh,
who
for
gets
fuck's
fired?
sake.
Who gets fired?
Everybody gets fired.
I mean, like, who takes the rap for this? Like, is Katrina too far up?
I don't know.
Look, I'm not sure Katrina be reading those emails, because when I looked at those dresses, she like, oh, sorry, that went in my spam. That may have gone my spam.
Okay, so I mean, I have to say that I think it was. I mean, and then it was clearly just.
But you know what was even crazy, because when I looked at the pictures, right, with those vagina monologue costumes, I'm just saying our Vertigo, whichever one you want, but those dresses were horrendous.
Wait, let's end the thing though. So, do you think there'll be any consequences for the Nazi German?
Of course not. But somebody needs to be fired.
I can't imagine. But I mean, who are they going to fire? Everybody else is probably not on staff.
Let me be 100 here. This is deliberate. This was done deliberately.
You think?
I don't think. Hold on. Let me just make it clear. I don't think the USCA okayed this.
Yeah.
But some asshole, fucking
made it happen.
White nationalist, if you want to call racist cunt, decide, you know what? I'm going to make a statement here. And I'm going to do this. Because everybody knows. I mean, like, this is not something like, saying. But I just have to say, as we're saying all of this, countries, when y'all know y'all have dodgy national anthems, just scrap the whole fucking thing.
No,
America, Germany,
or what you do. No, you don't have to do that. But just a gentle note to everyone. Hey, I just want to confirm that this is actually our national anthem. I'm going to email this to you all. So when the next tie is happening, I would suggest that Spain send the note to people. The U.S. send the note. We don't sing this. We don't sing the third stanza. Do you know what I mean?
Something.
But this is the thing. But you see, there doesn't need to be a note, because the thing about it, there was never a need for a note, because this has not been played nationally on a global stage since 1945.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
That man who was singing.
But that's what I'm saying, Realz. What I'm saying is, now that it's happened, it can easily happen again. So I would add that to the list of. I would add that to the checklist of Fed Cup ceremonies.
That's right.
The right national anthem. Check.
Let's check what the national anthem is, please.
Because it also seems like, based on what happened and based on Petco's feedback, that obviously threw their entire weekend into a tailspin.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? And then to follow it up,
it was hurtful
with the
for the players,
with the Coco on-court injury mess, and then ends up bageling her in the third set. But you know what? It's all messy. Welcome to USA now, people. This is how we do it here.
Well, exactly. This is. When I mentioned this to Janina last night,
this is who we are.
Janina was just like, "What? What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yes, girl. Let me show you." And I think that's when you start getting the hailstorm of tweets, right? I was just like, and I said,
God.
"This is who we are right now."
A trumpet did this.
We're not.
A trumpet did.
We're not paying attention.
We're
not paying attention. It feels
open
like
your eyes, people.
It feels like,
because you know how I know this is deliberate? Because I know the USA did not sing all three stanzas of their national anthem.
Yeah, that's weird. Isn't that weird? Why would
it wasn't like they were going? We're going for the long form. We're not going for like, you know what? This is a big proceeding. We're gonna go all out. We're gonna sing the whole full national anthem. No, it wasn't. The people, and that's what I'm just, even the regular German fans knew that this wasn't right.
Well, if anyone knows the deal, I would love to know.
So this was common knowledge among
who's responsible. I just want to know
if y'all know some tea, spill it.
Spill it to us. Who's responsible?
Spill it.
And if you and who took the fall? Somebody had to get fired. So tell us who got fired.
Well, we know people don't really get fired. Who got moved to a different position?
Exactly.
Both are behind the scene.
Yeah.
So we want to know that. But anyway, so sorry. I was just so confused about that. It just seems so aggressive. Ooh.
Yeah.
And ugly.
So first we had that, right? Mm-hmm. And then we had Coco acting like an
oh no. And then we lost her. Realz?
Janina went on. Yeah, that's not my fault. That's her fault.
Okay, no.
She's back again with us.
Okay.
So
okay. So it's all right. Then Coco was becoming a what?
An asshole, a diva, a bitch. You know, all the things that we have called her forever.
Stop. A couple of weeks ago, we said Coco looked like she grew up on the roller derby. How dare you call her a diva? Stop that nonsense. Not on my watch.
Wannabe diva? I don't know.
No,
because there was some talk, but there was some talk about was it her? There were some whispers about why Kerber didn't show up because she didn't want to face Coco.
Really? Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Maybe because Kerber is playing in another tournament. I mean,
there was just all kinds of shady shit being said. Like it just was ugly.
Money.
Then the medical timeouts.
Listen, everyone was unattractive on the inside and the outside this weekend. Let's just call that it. And the dresses were unattractive. And
yes,
on-court behavior was unattractive, and so were
because then Kiki then went out and called out Baczynski and say, you know what, hey girl, you're taking medical timeout. You're taking medical timeout against Cornet, and look. But you know what, friends, I just gotta say,
who's having a problem with someone taking a medical timeout against Cornet? That doesn't even make sense. That is like pot and kettle to a whole other level right there.
We only have a problem when it don't work for you, right? But I'm just saying, friends, what did you expect when you put Parmentier?
Really?
You know what I mean? So yeah, blame nobody else but yourself. Okay.
Listen,
you could have done better.
We all know France can win from a winning lose from a winning position at all
Thank
times.
you very much. And
it doesn't even seem like it matters if they're male or female, does it?
It's that delightful thing we love about them, that Frenchness that says you're going to lose from a winning position.
This is why I don't get on the bandwagon where everyone goes on about Guy Monfils. Because it's not a Monfils issue. It's an everybody in France issue. It is. And my pet theory, my pet theory about France is this French tennis players, and I don't know, I think I mentioned this before. We said, look, they have an amazing junior program. They're able to inspire the young people to play tennis. They're entitled to keep the enthusiasm to keep around tennis. Even older people, the regular layman French person is enthusiastic and ecstatic about tennis. You put a tennis tournament in somebody's backyard and they would be there, including the president.
That's nice.
But what I gotta say is that French just seem to be having a problem with developing pro athletes on the senior level. They just don't know how to take care of those athletes or nurture them. Or perhaps these French players just don't know how to pick better coaches.
You know what? I think
it's
it's some weird thing. I think in order to succeed on the tour, there's a real dullness that you have to have and a sort of monotony to being on the tour that I just don't think the French can do. I really do. I mean, I think that's why the Spaniards are great at it. And I don't I think the tour is a grind. And I think all you can expect from a French player is an occasionally they'll show up in a great tournament and wow you. But to expect them to do it consistently day in and day out, it's just not how they do it. It's just, I don't feel that.
Maybe because they don't have that. Maybe it's because they, like when people grow up in a big family, and when they leave that family and they're on their own, they're like, oh my God, I miss my family. And they don't seem to function well unless they're around that family. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe junior French tennis coddles the athletes too much. And they're constant support and they can't survive on their own, because when you look at the champions, there's a certain level of yes, they have their team and they have their close unit, whatever, but it's very small generally, except Murray's, and it's generally they have a survival and a determination and an independence about them, and you don't necessarily see that with the French players, and I think that's what they're lacking. They need that sort of independence and
I had a conversation with Beth at Stuck in Oregon about this a while ago, and she's pretty savvy across the board of sports. And her theory was that really the French Athletic Association as a whole just has archaic training regimes, and they need to do better with their athletes.
What, professionalizing it more?
Yes, and doing more for them. And
bringing it probably into the 21st century.
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting how the French are usually the one that have interesting stories about what the tour was like before. I mean, they seem to like the atmosphere of sort of informality and a kind of like I won't say like a lack of professionalism, but maybe just they like it when things were a bit looser. I think the structure of the tour is really, I think it's
right, because I think because they don't get to be right. They don't get to have that close. It separates them and whatever the case may be.
Well, anyway, so not that it matters, but sad. It was sad for the Fed Cup ladies, but I'm happy for the Swiss, and it's good thing. What other news? What in the news happened in tennis land?
So we found out that umpire that got struck in the face with the ball.
Well, first of all, let's talk about that incident, right? Because we didn't get to talk about that. I think it's Denis
Shapovalov
during Davis Cup last weekend.
Yeah,
not
Canadian.
Yeah, young Canadian.
He was. They were really in it because it was a fifth rubber, right?
Yes, and it was. It mattered.
Yeah,
because
it actually mattered. He got angry and he struck a ball. And that ball went flying straight up to the chair
from the net
and peppered the chair umpire right in the face.
Wow.
And he got a slap on the wrist fine of $7,000, no suspension. And I think it's bullshit
that defaulted from the match.
He defaulted, but I did hear, oh God, it was Chrissy, and I don't remember who she was talking to. They both agreed that there should have been a suspension of some sort, but their take on the low-level fine was that he's not a very high-ranked player and he doesn't have money, and that they probably took that into consideration. I don't give a fuck. If you don't have the money to pay the fines for the crimes that you might commit, you probably better quit acting like a dick.
Well, why would they even take that into consideration? It's not like Heather.
I don't know.
It's not like Heather Watson was running a ton of tournaments and she got fined a tremendous amount of money
for fucking up the grass, for hitting the grass.
Yeah, hitting a grass. $12,000. She got fined for $12,000 for scruffing the grass. And so, I mean,
this man hit a ball and broke someone's face, and it required reconstructive surgery. He can't work for a while, and he got a $7,000 fine. Yet we have Serena Williams, who held a ball in her hand and said, "I should shove this down your fucking throat," and got an $80-something thousand fine.
$96,000. I'm almost sure. $90,000.
In what world does this make sense? And I don't want to hear about how it was an accident. No, you don't get to behave that way, because you know what? People get in cars every day and they have accidents where they kill people, and it is a complete freak accident. You know what happens? They go to jail because you've killed someone with your car.
No one intentionally gets drunk to kill someone. They just don't.
Not even that. I don't even mean like getting drinking and then making the choice to get behind a vehicle. People, if you accidentally hit a pedestrian walking across the street and you hit them and you kill them and it is a complete accident, they came running out of nowhere and the car couldn't stop fast enough. If that happens to me and I kill that person, I'm going to jail. They're not going to say it was unintentional. Let's just give her a fine.
I mean, it kind of depends, but I do think that in this situation, that's what they're evaluating. It's like this person. It's not like when other people hit a ball out of anger, because there are moments when people
out of anger. It was struck with anger.
I know, but what I'm saying, it's different. He struck the ball to hit the ball, right, with anger in the moment. But we've also seen on other occasions where people deliberately go up and hit that ball. Don't care where it's going to go. They're doing it on purpose. I think when he didn't take this ball and like, I'm going to go hit this ball and wherever it happens, the ball came at him. He hit it, and then he noticed.
No, that's not what happened. He took the ball out of his pocket and smashed it, and it hit the umpire. He absolutely hit that ball intentionally. He took it out of his pocket and did it.
But I think, you guys are making it seem like he intentionally meant to hit the umpire.
No, I don't mean that.
No.
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
And in fact, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That has always been the case.
It doesn't matter across the board is the problem.
Here is where I know people are going to run back to Ostapenko. What happened in the Ostapenko case is that the racket accidentally slipped out of her hand, right? There was no intention to really like swing it and, out of anger, whatever the case may be. As in the case with Richard Gasquet as well. When Richard Gasquet is the same thing why he was defaulted from Wimbledon. And mind you, Davis Cup and Wimbledon and the US Open are all ITF events. Okay? So when you find Serena $90-something thousand and she faced probation and all this shit, same thing with Nick. It's ITF events, okay? Not regular tours. No, Denis, he did intentionally strike that ball. He took it out of his pocket. I think it was a bad line call or something of that sort.
Yep.
And he swung the racket. I think the ball hit the net and then flew up and hit the umpire in his eye. And then he was defaulted. This wasn't like, like he was a winner and he had, like he was trying to get a ball, which was going on the way and he had swung. No.
He absolutely hit that ball out of anger.
Deliberate and in anger.
The accident part was it hit the guy in the face.
Yeah.
But for me,
I'm one of those people. I mean, I have to say about this event, I didn't care. I really didn't. I mean, like I I wanted to be angry about it, but at that point, I mean, I guess I can't. I'm in a Trumpian world. I don't really, it feels really weird. But I was just like, okay. I mean, I was curious to see, I was happy that they immediately defaulted him. Because that would have been like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. But then I don't really understand. I don't understand the ranges of like, I don't understand the money range. I feel like there should be, that at least could be consistent. It would seem that if
it can't be consistent though, because in the rules it says that certain aggressions or whatever they call them in the rules, because I have read the rules, the fines are a range. So it's not, it should be clear.
I mean, don't you think it should be clear and there should be some consistency? Like if you hit someone with your ball, everyone should know exactly how much you're probably going to be fined. It does, you know what I mean?
Not really, but it's not really, because no. I think it's different. I think not necessarily. Do I think it's very arbitrary? And what we have seen and noticed is that when you're a female and a person of color, the suspension and range of money goes up higher.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying though. But I'm arguing for a lot more transparency around that. Like, when you leave it up to anyone's discretion, then sexism, racism, and all the other isms come into it. But it should be clear to people how much you're going to get fined if a ball touches a line.
Right.
person.
It should be.
It should be, but it should be.
Right. But
it's not.
But in this case, I think it should be much more should be at stake, because he literally injured someone, and this guy, and not only that $7,000. Is a lot more than he's being fined. It's a lot more than an umpire was making. Umpires don't make money.
Well, I mean,
they don't make any.
You better believe his surgery probably costs more than $7,000.
Exactly.
Hopefully they covered on the tour.
But they have good insurance.
But it was interesting how many people were ascribing motives. I think that was the only part of it that was sort of weird to look at, were how many people immediately upon the incident happening sent out tweets letting us know that this guy was a good person. And I was like, I don't really care.
I'm so sick of that shit.
I just I didn't really understand. Like, why are we assuming?
All I know for sure
is
if that would have been Nick Kyrgios, he'd be suspended for 6 months and would have had a $50,000 fine.
He would have been banned
people would have been banned from the tour. Which is, I think, what's interesting is how people want to take away someone's livelihood. Like, I mean, I just thought it was weird. I just thought the whole journey people went on was like, first and foremost, they were spending the whole time telling us he was nice. Who cares? Second, it was like, you're a stalwart person because of how you reacted immediately after. And I just,
I apologize. That's irrelevant. This man couldn't lose a fucking eye.
But it was so weird. It was so weird. It was so weird that it was about some judgment call about who he was inside. Like, why do I care about who he is inside? And that makes me convinced. That convinces me that you are not actually judging the act. You're judging the person.
The person, exactly.
And that's the problem.
These fines always seem to be very mysteriously and low. When it's a white male, when it's female, or it's a woman of color, they seem to go up crazy. Because ITF, how the fuck can you explain to me that Heather Watson beat a piece of grass and you find her $12,000 and was just like, this is A-okay? This broke this guy's eyeball. And you find him $7,000, and then we get to preface all of this by saying he's a good person. I don't give two shits.
That's not okay.
An umpire needs his fucking eyesight. It can't be a one-eye umpire.
Oh my God, you're a mess. But I mean, I just think people need to be more transparent. You need to be more transparent about the whole process.
This guy's livelihood is at stake. Okay? This guy's livelihood is at stake. And this kid is carrying on for a fucking point. A bloody point.
I agree.
A man could lose his eye and lose vision and the inconvenience of being out of work, etc., over a fucking point. A scrub, an astronaut, let's be serious, because I don't see this motherfucker on any challenger circuit. But get angry, upset over a fucking point. And he hits about, like, this is not okay. And let me go back and say whatever because Andy Murray.
Yeah, he did
last year, I think it was in Rome.
Yeah.
He intentionally struck a ball at an umpire, and the umpire just gave him a warning. That is not okay. Look, people. Serena's behavior, so don't get started on that bandwagon. People,
well, you don't even have to mention it. You don't have to mention Serena. You can talk about all the incidents that are exactly the same.
let's be 100 here, okay? Richard Gasquet got defaulted from Wimbledon for the same goddamn thing, okay? He struck a ball in anger. He hit a kid, and he was sorry. It's not okay. And this is Wimbledon, the oldest, most prestigious. Get the fuck out of here. Out. Go home.
I hear ya.
Look, people, umpires and linesperson, yes, you're upset. And meanwhile, there's another incident because some Martinakova defaulted from a match because she asked if they could punch the chair umpire for a line call.
Right.
And meanwhile, the line umpire could speak. You want to punch the chair umpire? Look, people.
All I gotta say is tennis people have a lot of anger issues. They gotta work that out. I mean, do we need to have do we need to have them wear suits on court to let us know that they are gentlemen and gentlewomen? Should we have that? No baggy pants? Can we go back to that? Because I don't know what's going on with these people. I mean, why are they so angry? What's going on the tour? Could we have someone? Could we have someone really look into this and deal with the anger issue of this country club sport? Why is everyone so angry? It's a ball.
These people don't make any money, okay? These lines people,
because it costs so much to play and they don't make any fucking money.
I mean, listen, if this was happening in basketball, we'd have to have a whole discussion about it. So I need to know what's going on with these ladies and gentlemen who have this rage inside of them that they need to get out. And
could you imagine the fallout if Cam Newton gets a bad call and he takes the football and he just chucks it at a ref's head? I mean, Jesus.
He is leaving that arena in handcuffs.
Oh,
he's
man.
leaving that arena in handcuffs.
But maybe wait, maybe not though, because he's real nice.
Hold on. I tell you what. Cam Newton. Okay, let me step back.
He may be nice, but
I tell you what's gonna happen.
What?
I tell you what's gonna happen. Cam Newton is gonna have a conversation. They're gonna go on about press conference, and there's gonna be some busybody journalist gonna say, right, what you did, etc., etc. Then 3 days later, then they're gonna issue a arrest warrant for Cam Newton now, and they're gonna call.
But you know what? Let's be 100. The reality is,
then they're gonna try to make it seem like another OJ situation.
I know. The reality is, the reality is, white anger is just cute. It's so adorable.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not real. It's cute, and so they're allowed to express their rage, and it's adorable. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they're gonna go kill their wives.
Passion.
I
mean, really, what it means is that they care a tremendous amount about that ball getting on the net.
Zero tolerance for this kind of bullshit. Okay.
All right, listen.
Look.
Okay.
Let me.
All right.
We're done with this.
Okay.
Let's talk about something a little more fun.
All right.
Now, let me just say, professional tennis players, look, these people on the line, the chair umpire, the line people, they don't make any fucking money. They don't. They just don't. You get more money for lucky loser than they get in a whole fucking year, probably. Okay? In fact, to be honest with you, they probably make their yearly salary is what you make on the first rung of a major. So don't be hitting them because one, y'all are dishonest people, so y'all can't make your own fucking lines call. So let's be 100 in that. Roger Federer, you need to talk to your people because you know you can't see shit. Any lines call right, okay? Let's do 100, Roger. So talk to the boys. And Siri,
I'm just hoping all these people get therapy. So I feel like
they should get
somebody
mandatory therapy.
Thank you very much.
ATP
we are waiting.
And WTA, get on that.
Anger management.
I'm waiting for anger management for Denis. Okay, ATP. I'm waiting for that.
Listen, let's talk about something fun.
All right.
It'll be fun for us. It won't be fun for everybody.
What?
So the Miami Open has started its promotion.
Oh, man.
Look,
and they put out
wait,
fabulous poster.
You gotta let her finish, Realz.
I know, like he's like
giving context.
So it's time because Miami is coming up shortly, and it's time to promote the tournament, right? And they put out this poster promoting the players, and people went
Don't say people. Crazy. Don't say people.
Novak fans went
crazy.
Batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Because this poster features Federer, Serena, Nadal, Venus, Novak, Andy, and Del Potro in that order, with their names listed
in decreasing size. Which actually, if you look at it real good, Nadal's name is actually the biggest, but because the font is different, it makes it lesser. And it also makes sense because Nadal's very popular in Miami.
Yeah,
Miami.
You've got a big picture of Federer on one side, a big picture of Serena on the other side. You've got
current Australian Open champion on hard court from Australia. Hard court in Miami.
You've got Venus under Roger. You've got Rafa under Serena, Andy under Venus, and Novak coming out of the corner under Rafa.
So what was the complaint?
The problem is you've got your world number 1 and 2 at the very bottom, and you're promoting the number 17th player in the world at the top. Where's Kerber? She's the number 1 player in the world, and her picture's not even on there.
Stop.
First and foremost, it's Venus and Serena's home tournament.
Wait a minute.
Thank you very much.
It doesn't even matter.
They've won it.
It is their home tournament.
I mean,
it is their home tournament.
It is their home tournament.
It is. What? They won it a combined 11 times since '99.
So, Fed fans think it's funny. Of course, right? Novak fans are pissed. And I'm not even trying to protect anybody. Everybody knows, tennis Twitter knows who Yolita is. And as soon as I saw this, I said, Yolita is going to lose her shit. However, Yolita has blocked me, so I couldn't go look.
You're a mess. You all are a mess.
I always find a way, right? Somebody always goes, look what Yolita did now. Because this woman thinks she thinks she's Nole's mama or something.
But you know what? You know what's so funny about this whole thing? It's like we are Federer fans. So we have been here before, right? This is like 2006, 2008, 2009, where people are like at the height of Fedal, right? Like we've been through this. We've been here. I can't even get upset anymore. I'm like, this is crazy, motherfucker. It's crazy. It is crazy. But I will say the one big difference, because I remember Fedal battles from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
The difference right now is like a Trumper. This is it's permeated everything. Before it was just fans going at each other, and that was fine. But these people go they go in at tournaments. Do you know what I mean? Like at the actual tournament, they go on the actual tournament Twitter. They go on the actual reporters. It's not just fun and games between fans.
They write a letter to the congressman.
Yes,
they write a letter to the embassy.
I mean, that's the part of it to me that I was like, I don't know if it's
they're requiring national attention.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
like,
what I
is it Facebook? I mean, like, is it like online media that's just made it so dirty? Like, it's ridiculous now. Like, you're actually attacking people doing their jobs. Like I'm attacking the graphic designer of this poster.
The Miami Open handled it brilliantly. Responded to tweets. I mean, honestly, huge shout out to the woman who tweeted to Miami Open and said, "Here, I fixed it." The poster.
And it was a blank poster?
Oh, no, it wasn't a blank poster. She changed everybody's head to Federer. In Miami, the Miami Open Twitter account said, "You're hired." The Miami Twitter account also told Yolita, "You know what? We'll keep you in mind the next time we need a graphic designer."
Listen, that's the only way you handle crazy. When you encounter intensity like that, you just have to talk it down off the ledge. Whew, that's a lot.
Look, let me just say that Miami and Shanghai Open Twitter account handlers.
I've got better things to do. I'm not trying to get my panties in a bunch over a promotional poster for a tennis tournament. There are bigger things in the world, people. Come on. Really?
Well, I
but you see,
when we used to have Twitter fights among fans is fine, but when you're taking it to the tournament site, then you've gone way too far, and you've become completely inappropriate.
Actually,
and
no, I'm sorry. I mean, like, I don't have these Twitter fights as people like to think. You know, I mean, for me, this is fun and jokes, and this is time for us to relax. You know, as much as we like to think this is our alternative reality, somehow, you know,
it's not.
For
some people,
exactly, but it's not. And I mean, like, what I couldn't understand is that okay, you want to be upset, right? Okay. I can't stop you from being upset, snowflakes. But let me take that back, because that might be a divisive word these days. You know, I call you tissue. You know, so breaking apart these tissues. Like, where is your facts and logic? Because at the end of the day, what is the Miami Poster trying to do?
Sell tickets.
Okay,
and who sells tickets?
They're not concerned about subscription, about people who are watching TV,
no.
Whether you live in Mexico, Timbuktu, New York City. They want your ass there on the pavement in Miami. Okay? So who do they sell to promote? The two biggest
names in tennis.
Federer and Nadal. That's what it is. Trust me.
But
look,
the most prominent people on those
the
most prominent people on that poster are Federer and Serena. Who fills arenas? Federer and Serena.
And
it
also
is what it
Venus
is.
And Serena.
This is marketing 101.
Exactly. And like I'm saying, trust me, they would have put Martha doping ass up in that poster if it was near April.
Absolutely.
Near April.
Yes, they would.
Okay, well, okay.
April.
Okay. So
they would have put Martha in that poster.
Okay, so let me ask you then. Let me come back at you then with this. So then, why are people pissed off that tournaments are giving Martha wild cards if it's a money game? So why get upset about that?
Because they don't get it. They don't get that it's a money game.
I get this because look,
we get it.
I'm saying not that I agree with it. Whatever the case may be, because you know how I feel about this Martha situation. Martha should be nowhere near that tournament afterwards. But definitely not a potion, because but it's a money game at the end of the day. Look, people have already signed up. Look, they announced that. Hold on, let me just point out to you, Martha can't show up at the tournament until Wednesday. Cannot show up to that.
But even beyond that, people are pissy that she's getting wild cards.
Yeah, I'm talking about beyond.
Because here's the thing. This is what it comes down to. If Sharapova wants a wild card to a tournament, in tournament A tells her no, tournament B is going to say yes. And tournament B is probably going to sell more tickets than the tournament that turned her down. It's all about the money. Pova sells tickets. Go do the research. Look at the numbers. Sharapova sells tickets. That's why she is going to get a wild card into any tournament she wants to. No one is going to make her play qualifications. Nobody is. If she wants to play, she's going to be there. No, I don't. If her ranking doesn't allow her to be there, she should have to play qualies like everybody else, because she's coming back from a doping ban. If she was coming off an injury, yeah, give her a wild card. I don't agree with it, but I get it. I know exactly why it's happening. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it, because at the end of the day, it's always everything in business comes down to the money, and this is all about the money. And Sharapova sells tickets, and no tournament is going to turn her away and let somebody else get that money. It's not happening.
I mean, I just think at this point, when it comes to doping, I would just in regard to that, I know it's money for Stuttgart, but when it comes to doping and the integrity of your sport, you kind of have to be like, yeah, girl.
You know what, though?
Actually, next week.
I wonder about that. I wonder about that, though, because
see you next week, because
they're businesses.
To me,
I mean, I think it's different. It's different when it's like a governing body, right? But the tours are business ventures.
Yep.
And they
but the tour have to set up a code of conduct, right, and protocol, right?
Because at this point in time, she's done. They're not doing it after. They're not doing it while she is banned. She's no longer banned. At that time, she's no longer banned. So they're figuring all bets are off, aren't they? I mean, there's nothing on the books that say that they can't do this for her.
Right?
It really isn't.
Well, I think they changed the rules so that this can happen, because if I'm not mistaken,
They did.
You just can't roll up on a tournament and choose and say, like, can I come in?
Listen,
Your name has to be listed.
Stuttgart is given. Stuttgart has broken the rules. Stuttgart has done something dodgy as hell.
Right.
We all know that for that tournament because it's too close to when she's supposed to come back. The days are really weird.
Exactly.
With Stuttgart, I think you can make a case, but I think the larger issue of Pova getting wild cards. I mean, I know people are upset about it, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, well, how are you going to hold someone accountable? How are you going to hold a tournament accountable when at the end of the day, you want that tournament to make money?
Yep.
Right.
So that other people can continue.
That's
you know what I mean? It's
right.
weird.
This is the thing that you have to all of these tournaments. This is the thing you have, but my thing is just understand that you have to take all of this, that everything that comes with this, right?
Which is what?
Because next week when someone else dope, you're gonna have to make exceptions for these people too.
No, they're not. They're not. You don't, and you don't have to.
You're not going to.
But you don't have to. And this is what I mean. Like, I think this is why I find the whole thing so tedious. It's like you don't have to make an exception because these are businesses. I mean, people are acting like a business has a sort of moral codes. Businesses don't have moral codes. Their only incentive is the bottom line, right?
Yep.
Like only a nonprofit of some sort has to hold to some sort of higher order thing, right? A business is there to get it done. If you can make money by having child labor and it's not illegal, they'll do it too. So
right,
they're doing it.
You know what I mean? So
hey,
the idea exactly. So I don't know. I guess I think at this point in time, I'm happy to see people being as naked with their avariceness as possible. I mean, maybe it's because I'm living in a Trump world, but I just want people to tell me who they are. Just be truthful. Like you're in it for cash. Don't pretend that there's some moral high ground that you have. Tennis doesn't have any moral high ground.
Money.
Yes.
Right. I agree. Okay. From a business perspective, I get all of that. Right. And I'm willing to say, okay, I get it. You know, like, it's not an issue that permeates just tennis. We saw this in baseball. You know, this is happening in American football, soccer, track and field, all over the world, right? Yeah. It only becomes an issue when it starts to fuck with the image.
Yep.
The image on a whole, and when people start dropping out, when sponsors start saying, you know, whatever. Which was funny because several 2014 to be exact, tennis put out this thing just before 2015 was gonna start out, and tennis said, you know, like, look, we're getting a lot of sponsors because we are a clean sport. We don't have any of this dodgy nonsense that happens in soccer, in NBA, NFL, and MLB. So we attract a lot of in cycling, particularly, we're attracting a lot of sponsors because they like the fact that their integrity and brand. Come to 2016, and everything went out the fucking door.
Well, because
I think that was a lie. I think that at the end of the day,
we knew that was a lie, right?
I mean,
because then we found out
they weren't. Yeah, but they weren't attracting brands because they were clean. Because many people think tennis is not a clean sport.
But that's how they promoted themselves.
But a brand isn't coming to them because they were clean.
No, but they were void of scandal, and the reason they were able to do that was because tennis wasn't under the WADA code. So when people got caught doing fucked up shit, they could be pulled aside and said, "Hey, stop," and nobody ever knew about it. We saw that with Agassi after the fact.
Well, I mean, because I think I'm bringing, you know, I want to come back around to the poster thing, because I think at the end of the day, people have to separate the achievements that people have on court and with who makes money.
I think it's fair game.
Because
exactly,
right? Because like number one, number two is Angelique Kerber. Well, now she's no longer anymore, but it's like you are already being rewarded for what you do. You're getting your cash payment of your prize money. You're getting the ranking. You're getting all of that. But at the end of the day, nobody promises you that you're going to be making money.
Yep,
exactly.
It doesn't line up that way. And that's why I never got upset
that Serena doesn't make as much money in endorsement as Maria does.
And you can call it, and you can call it out as racism,
the politics
right?
of that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's racism.
There is a political. There's a politics and races involved in that situation. We have to accept that when we talk about it, in whatever the case to me. And let's be 100 here. Not because you're good at your job and you do an excellent job, your boss, you're guaranteed a bonus from your boss. You're not. You're guaranteed your paycheck.
And Novak is guaranteed the cash
paycheck. Exactly.
He's guaranteed the number one ranking if he does well. and that's it. But nothing else is owed to him. And so it's weird to me that we always have this dialogue about it. I'm like, none of that other stuff is owed.
When he goes to Rome, his picture would be featured above Fabio Fonini. Let me see y'all motherfuckers get back. Let me see y'all making noise over that. You won't be, right? Y'all won't be. And it's what it is. It's just what it is. And I assure you, Venus won't be on the Rome posters. She just won't be.
So wait your turn, motherfuckers. Wait your turn.
There's no turn. You know why? The sad thing is there will be no turn because soon as Federer and Rafa retires, it'll be some young hot thing that comes along, and Novak Djokovic still won't make the poster.
So speaking of a young hot thing, I just need to take a moment. In Realz, I need to come for you just real quick because I was in the camp that Sasha was gonna do the. Don't gong me. He was gonna do it.
I'm gonging myself because I'm just trying to hold on to my wig wrap.
Yeah, you hold on tight, and you're like, oh, he ain't gonna win. Tsonga's gonna handle it. He's young. These young boys can't do shit. And I'm like,
it is Tsonga after all. Come on,
it is Tsonga.
You should have known he had a shot.
But Zverev came through. He came through, and I'm ready for it. I've been waiting for it. He came through.
Okay.
So what do you want? So what do you want to say?
Exactly.
What are you going to say?
Like I said, let me tell you what I'm going to say. Having strength for Gasquet and Tsonga, all right, give you a little clap for that. But you know what? Ain't nobody checking for those little minor wins, okay? When you had Rafa on the rope, that's what we're checking for.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, yes, bullshit. Okay, let me tell you.
You don't get to change your story now.
No. As I've been saying, Andreen, back me up, girl. I want to spoil your birthday. Okay, I don't want to spoil your birthday. Okay, so Andreen, hold me back. Look, always, as I've been saying, always. Okay, and I think we've made it. The younger versions of the people who we've seen as champion would never have lose some of these matches. They wouldn't. I know y'all keep giving credit and saying, yes, they're young, whatever, but we've been waiting for the next generation, and they are missing. People are calling them the lost boys, the generation XX. Let's be 100 here. Serena didn't make her career by beating Cyril Bama. Serena made her career in Hingis. Okay?
Oh my God.
And this is how it happens, okay? You don't make your career beating the chums. Who remembers the fact that
you don't make your career by beating chums, but you do make your career by being consistent. He's got two titles now at 19 years old.
Yes.
He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
What he's supposed to do is that when you have champions on the rope, go for the kill. Get a clean kill. Don't be up there fucking around, wasting time. Because I hope so.
Well, listen, we get to evaluate him in a Masters tournament. That's where you get to see. That's where you get to see their movement, right? Because this is what was impressive about Grigor, right? Grigor won the 500, but he won it by beating people that he should be beating, right? Yeah. And so, I think Zverev. I'm gonna give it to both of you. I think beating Tsonga in a home tournament where Tsonga usually feels very comfortable, that's a big deal. I'm sure Tsonga penciled himself into that final. You don't think?
Oh, fuck yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? Like he beat two Frenchies back to back. That's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal.
And they are very comfortable there.
Loves that tournament.
And I think that's his tournament, right? That's where he always win it. Yeah.
For that.
So that's definite props. But I will see your point, Realz, when he encounters the big boys next time. And it's not Federer because Federer's too old for his ass. But let's see what he does. No, but let's see what he does.
Let's see how does he handle Murray, Nole, Rafa again, whatever. Yeah. So can we talk about can we talk about Grigor and Goffin and Dani?
Let me just say.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have all the facts.
Oh God!
But
you know what? It sounds like you're about to. You're about to make a proclamation. So go ahead. You don't have all the facts.
Okay.
But
look. I'm putting a caveat. I'm putting an asterisk. I'm just saying. To this homosexual eyes.
Oh my God.
To my eyes.
Oh my God.
to my baby homosexuality.
That was pretty intimate, wasn't
Dani
it?
and Grigor and I'm fucking.
They fucking.
Oh my God.
Did you see the embrace? Listen.
Okay.
Men do not
Hold on. Let me just say that.
Oh my God. First
Let me just say
pull
that.
them by
Let me
the back of the head.
Let me rein it
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Grigor's
They're
face
Go ahead,
is
Janina.
they are non-Americans.
No.
Take your Trumpian American.
If I hear another
No.
woman tell me some bullshit, he ain't gay, he's European.
Grigor had his neck, his face nuzzled up in
nonsense.
Dani's
Oh my
neck.
God, you're all over.
Dani had his hand on the back of Grigor's head. That's
All
not
I'm
European.
saying is that, okay, then I take it
That's
back.
love.
Let me take that back. Okay. Let me take that back. I'm not 100% sure, as I'm sure about Pay You and Go For Fucking. Not 100%.
Oh
but
God.
I would say this.
Oh my God, this. Okay, wait. Let me just make an announcement. This section of the podcast is hot speculation and pure speculation. Let me just warn you all before you go any further.
No.
This section is where
Listen,
homosexual fantasies rise. Okay?
No, this is no fantasy.
Okay, let me just say. All right, thank you for putting it.
No, I'm going to
Janina.
pin.
Thank you, Andreen, for saving us.
I'm going to pin the picture to my profile of what I'm referencing, and I want you to look closely at Dani's eyes as Grigor is reaching out for the side of his face. I want you to look at Grigor's face in his neck and the look on Dani's face like, I like you there. I mean,
look, I'm just saying. All I'm just wondering, okay, I got two questions. Okay. I'm just saying, can I be in on those coaching sessions? Can I? Because, and maybe some of you other fellas should probably take some tips here because, look, 1-2 titles, just saying. Semi-final of a major, butt itch. Maybe it's because you said no homo while you're struggling on the Dani. Is that what it is?
Oh God, you guys are bad. But I will say this though. Okay. I will say this for Dani, that Grigor's, let's say, rise of whatever else is going on.
I bet something was rising.
I have to say that Grigor's rise is really helpful for him because after the savagery that happened with Burdage, I was asking myself, how is Dani going to get a job? You know what I mean? I was like, Dani, you're not going to get a job.
Dismissal from Andy Murray while on the Maresma.
Yeah, and so I thought to myself, wow, but to see what's going on with Grigor. All I kept thinking this weekend was, wow, this guy might be worth his paycheck after all.
Well, how many times though have we heard Realz say, never let Goffin back into a match?
Well, you know what?
And look what happened, and I was like, this motherfucker's gonna come back and win.
But you know what?
He almost, because it was a stupid error. It was a stupid error.
That's gonna be the gift of the year. Is that Goffin? The look on Goffin's face,
man.
And then he realized the camera was there.
If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it because it is priceless. Goffin looked like, motherfucker, I'm coming for you.
You know what he looked like? You know that picture of Andy Murray looking at Novak Djokovic when he won last year? Like he wanted to rip that trophy out of his hand.
Oh shit.
But you know what? I have to say, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? People are gonna hate me for saying this, but whatever, especially these two ladies. Yeah. I just thought Grigor was doing a little too much. And I agree, go far. It was doing too much. Yes, it's your home tournament and whatever it case to me. But you were doing a little bit too much.
I mean,
you were getting out the selfie stick. You were getting out the girl, no.
Wait, Grigor doing too much? Grigor and too much in a sentence. This is Grigor. Have you seen Grigor?
Hello.
Grigor's life is too much. Wasn't, I mean, so
Goffin wasn't all that life.
I know, but
Goffin wasn't part of that life.
I have to give him props though. I mean, to win in your home tournament, we talked about this last year, how important it is for you to win in your home tournament. It's a special kind of pressure. Dominic Thiem hasn't even been able to manage that. Yeah,
you know. Oh God.
She can't even win.
You did not say Stowe, sir.
Can't even win matches.
Did you guys catch Misha Zverov in the stands laughing, like literally laughing at his brother when he couldn't close out that match because he was laughing? It wasn't like he was like, what the fuck? You could see it all over his face. He was laughing at him. It was great. It was great.
But I mean, I think, we
got a lot of good face today.
I think, and also what we have are some fun, are, as Realz says, the scrubs are showing up. You're showing up and showing out, and I'm okay with it because Fed has a slam, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. That means he's whatever you want. Tour final. Yes, do whatever you want, because that means that Fed makes it to World Tour Finals, and that's really, as a fan who pays for that, that's really the only thing that matters. So now you guys can all come at it and try to get Murray, Rafa, and Fed, and Novak. All of y'all, get up in there.
Oh, and meanwhile, and let me just say, while we're on this subject of doing too much, Roger Federer, put down the trophy, please. Hold marker. Hold the kids. I mean, look, holding the kids last year has done you a wonder this year.
Listen, he has not held a trophy that size in 5 years. I want him to sleep with it.
Let's show up with that trophy in his hand.
Sleep with it if you want.
I hope he brings it to every tournament. No,
you know what? I want him to put it on a keychain, a small version of it, and then puts it right on the table when he's being interviewed everywhere. This is my trophy. It's a miniaturized version of my trophy.
Mr. Federer? You can check all my bags. I'm taking this. This is my carry-on, this cup. I mean, Federer, girl.
He can put a kid in there.
Way I see Federer.
It is everywhere.
I'm sure
you know what? He's
at that winter event.
People are requesting it, I'm assuming. People are like, could you bring the trophy so we can
God damn it. Federer, you got like 4 more. It's not your first one.
I will say this, though. I will say this. How come nobody was doing this for poor Stan? Didn't he just win the Australian?
Nobody give a fuck about Stan.
All right. I was just testing.
Federer ain't doing too much, okay? Like, I love you, girl. Just a little constructive criticism. I love you. And before we go, I know we're into clock time here, whatever. It's going to be a short version. I just want to mention 2 things, because, we are not haters. We hate judiciously.
Oh.
2 pieces of news came regarding, the top 3. I don't consider Murray. Just before I even go, I just want to say, people who are fighting. Hold on. Oh, that's true. But anyway, people who are on Twitter are fighting about stands and fans and whatever. I just need y'all to stop. Okay, Murray fans, let's be 100 here, okay? There has to be some rules and regulation to Twitter twats, okay? And Twitter fights and Twitter spats, okay? There just gotta be some rules and regulation. And 3 slam motherfuckers just cannot get into the conversation. Just can't.
You got 3.
You know what? Next week we're gonna have to deal with Andy Murray people, and then Andy Roddick people, and Albert Costas, and then next week after that, then Burditch stands are gonna try to come up in the conversation. No. Some rules and regulation. Not even Venus stands, and Venus got 8 slams, 7 slams if I'm not 7, and not even her stands. Be trying to get up in conversation with Venus. No.
3
okay,
is unforgettable.
You got 3
in this day and age.
Just thankful. You know what? Just we say, yeah, girl. It's really tough times. We happy. We're just here for the show. You Federer fans and you Divadal fans and you Nole fans, go at it. We just popcorn. Just popcorn. That's all you should be saying. Stanley fans, Murray fans, popcorn. Okay? No fighting. Okay? Just let it go. Let it go. Because y'all ain't ready for this conversation. But just point out this. So I'm dealing with everybody. No, there's been news that, Uncle Tony has said he's going to stop coaching Rafa. Is it stop coaching or stop traveling?
Stop traveling.
Stop traveling. Yes, and everyone's just like, oh, this is why Moya come on about people.
No,
Moya is a buddy in the box. Okay, I'm paying my friend to hang out. Entourage, just think entourage. Okay, because I don't know how Moya's gonna be coach and he's supposed to be working at the academy. I don't know how that's one work.
Well, maybe it's gonna be a transition, a full-time transition. No more academy work.
Right. But let's just be 100 here. I just think also the other issue is that tell Divadal. First of all, you see Divadal fans, I don't understand you people. Because last year around this time, you're just like, he needs to get rid of Uncle Tony, okay? Uncle Tony is the same thing. He needs to get rid of Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony needs to go. Am I right?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Absolutely right?
Yep.
Now Uncle Tony said he's not going right now. He's going next year. This is why you people are tissues. You all are so gentle.
First of all, you have to understand that the most important thing about Tony is that you all refer to him as Uncle Tony.
He's like,
so
this is an issue in itself.
Tony as well.
But the other thing too is that let's be 100 here. What is Uncle Tony really necessary in terms of coaching? Nadal does the same goddamn thing every single time. So if he don't get the game plan, if he don't know the game plan by next year, boy, have plenty of trouble.
No,
okay?
I actually think he's going to be fine, because the most important thing about Rafa right now is two things: is that he's uninjured, uninjured and pain-free, which is rare for Rafa. And the number two, and then the second thing is that he was having emotional crises. So there's nothing like having a buddy on tour to help you with your emotional crises. That's really what he's needing, right? You just need that. You need that person, your first love, around to remind you who you are in the important moments. So I mean, I don't really think Uncle Tony matters.
Well, there, she said it. Uncle Tony doesn't matter.
Not in that way. Not for the things that really matter.
He'll be fine.
Exactly.
Not for anyway, I mean, like.
And Uncle Tony is time for the next generation. Tony's like, let's build this up.
Exactly, and plus, I actually think that if the day when Roger Federer retires, Nadal is gonna retire too. He ain't got time to stick around, hang out with Novak. No, he's not. And Murray, he's gonna be like deuces, people, because
listen,
it's real rival.
We have these people for 2 more years. Call yourself lucky if that happens. That's it. We got these folks for 2 more years.
All right.
Divadal stands.
Was that it?
Okay. And last but not least, of course, we gotta mention the number 2 player in the world. Apparently, I don't know. This is whispers, according to Janina, that he might be having baby number 2. And talking about babies,
what did you say this was? What in popular parlance? What type of baby is this?
A trap baby.
Oh.
Is that what I said?
All right.
And speaking of trap babies, let's be 100 here. Realz tennis fans called it back in the day. Taylor Fritz, you got a shotgun wedding, boo boo. Don't tell me about no love and purity. Get the fuck out of here. You discovered the secret of vagina. And you were having too much fun, and then you got to wear a condom.
Listen. Do what you got to do, honey. I'm for the girl. You nailed him quickly before he gets on the rise. Get in there. Props to you, ladies. Congratulations, new mommy, and congratulations, new daddy.
You see how Teen Mom usually end. But anyway, congratulations to Nole. If this is true, having a second baby, I mean, this is certainly gonna make things, Guess you're no longer wandering. Your ship has finally found its port.
Oh my God.
Be for you. And congratulations to Yelena, girl. We all aspire to such greatness. Yes, we do. Hey.
Shit.
Lock.
All right.
Lock.
On that note.
People, thank you very much. Don't forget to I want to thank all of new fans, people who listen to us, all the haters who keep hating Andre without proper facts. Come at us, but bring your receipts, please do, because we have no time for people with no receipts. We give no refunds if you have a receipt. And don't forget to comment below. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we are also on Facebook, we're on iTunes, and we're on Podbean. So thank you for listening up, people. Hope you enjoy our podcast. Anything, ladies?
No.
I'm just gonna hope that Chance the Rapper avoids the new artist jinx. And
well, he got it.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Where that goes from here.
He just won it. So let's hope that the usual doesn't happen to him.
Yeah.
I actually was watching a CBS where Gayle King said, "Yes, I want Chance the Rapper to come." Just like, Gayle, girl, you're 70. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you know about Chance the Rapper, but you know what? Hey, she knew more than me. But you know what?
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, fun time.
Good night, folks.